This segment of the news has been brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.
Welcome back. With COVID-19 hospitalizations standing at 146 at healthcare facilities on New Providence and Grand Bahama, based on the latest figures released by the Ministry of Health, this has further pushed the Bahamas healthcare system to overcapacity. Health Minister Wenwood Wells on Thursday, during a sideline interview on the arrival of Pfizer vaccines, told reporters that health officials are working quickly to get additional beds.
We have in country probably about 100, nearly 140 COVID beds. We have been adjusting our circumstances at PMH. As you know, we have another 2 wards that's going to come on stream that's going to give us probably by next week an opportunity for another 34 beds.
Since August 6, COVID-19 hospitalizations have averaged anywhere between 120 to 169 cases. Asked how the Princess Margaret Hospital would accommodate any additional COVID-19 patients today if they were presented, Minister Wells says that the government and its agencies would have to become very creative and innovative.
With the contractors to ensure, because they're like 98, 99% completed. So we're moving very quickly with that to be able to offer additional bed space. But again, you know, unlike the first and second wave, we have the solution for what ails us. And now more so than ever, we have it on the ground, that is vaccines. So I'm just encouraging the Bahamian people to go ahead and get vaccinated so that we can move beyond this. And we've seen the results of it in other countries who are experiencing surges right now. A lot of nations around the globe, the vast majority, are experiencing surges. But in those nations where they are continuing to vaccinate, we're seeing a downturn. The curve is beginning to flatten as their people move out.
The minister adds that during the second wave, the healthcare system reached capacity and healthcare workers were still able to move people around and make adjustments, provided healthcare, even amidst the challenges the system faced. Former Minister of Health and Elizabeth Member of Parliament Dr. Jcn Sands calling on his Parliament colleagues to work together for the Bahamian people, while painting an almost grim picture of the country's health crisis. During his contribution to the debate to extend the country's state of emergency, which was passed in both the upper and lower chambers, Dr. Sands said now is not the time to be pointing fingers, as COVID-19 has become politicized.
39 legislators is to express solidarity to the people of this country that we are prepared to work together to do whatever it takes to get this country safely through this problem. My position as the Member of Parliament for Elizabeth on emergency orders is well known, but that doesn't matter now. What matters now is that we all understand that this country is in deep, deep trouble. Because all day, all night, I am fielding calls about people that want to know, can you find a bed for my mother? Can you find a bed for my father? I have heard some heartbreaking stories over the last week or 2.
On Wednesday, Health Minister Wenwood Wells stated that 131 beds are available in country for COVID-19 patients, but there are manpower challenges. Meantime, to help with the COVID-19 crisis, on Thursday, the Bahamas received nearly 130,000 Pfizer COVID-19 vaccines. Dr. Sands says that he's elated to hear that, and here's why.
I, like many other people, are fully vaccinated. I'm fully vaccinated. But because I happen to spend so much time in the belly of the beast, as it were, I have gone a little bit further. So I have received 2 AstraZeneca shots and 1 Pfizer shot. Now, if you want the medical evidence for that, I'm happy to share it with you. I am not suggesting to those listening to me or to the general public that you need 3 shots. What I am saying, though, is that I am absolutely convinced that vaccination is an integral and important and necessary part of the way forward.
Recently, U.S. regulators gave approval for immunocompromised Americans to get an additional COVID-19 shot as a booster to help keep infections and illness at bay. While AstraZeneca, Johnson & Johnson, and Pfizer are all only currently approved under emergency use authorization, Pfizer has applied for full authorization and has lobbied the U.S. and European regulators to approve a third booster shot. By the end of August, Bahamians will be able to choose between all three of those brands of vaccines. And while vaccine hesitancy is still high among Bahamians, Dr. Sands notes officials need to create the right logistics to ensure that vaccination rates go up, now that there are options.
I've never seen so much social media influence on a medical issue ever in the history of mankind. But there has been tremendous misinformation and disinformation that people are confused. They don't know who to believe, who to trust. I want to ask that we are empathetic, that we don't call people stupid. The fact that you may have a different opinion than I do, let me take some time to listen to you. I might think that you are crazy, but perhaps what I ought to do is to listen to you a little bit longer, and maybe I can see the value in your position.
The rollout of the Pfizer vaccine is expected to begin on Monday, August 16th. Meantime, the Public Hospitals Authority responding to a social media post regarding an incident in the emergency department at the Princess Margaret Hospital. A pipe ruptured that caused flooding to an area in the emergency department. PHA officials say that flooding occurred at 2 p.m. Thursday and had been resolved by 6 p.m. The PHA says that the chest pain unit of the emergency department experienced a ruptured plumbing pipe, which resulted in the flooding of the entire department. The plumbing team worked immediately to resolve the issue, and the line was repaired within an hour. The removal of the water and sanitization of the area was completed by 4 p.m., and water supply restored at 6 p.m. Management apologizes for any inconvenience caused to its clients and staff during the untimely matter, and assures the public of its continued commitment to serve. You're watching Jcn News. Stay with us.
This segment of the news is brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.